Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Kevin. I almost said Kevin and Mikkel. Unfortunately, Mikkel could not be with me today because Mikkel had to work. So I'm holding it down today. And on the Scorpion Show today, we have a special guest. She is a two-time Grammy Award winner, and she's an original Destiny's Child member. And tonight she will be debuting on R&B Divas, the season 3. LaTavia Roberson, welcome to the Scorpion Show.
Thank you very much. How are you?
I am doing so good, and I am just so excited to have you on our show. I know everybody knows that the Scorpion Show is a huge, huge fan of Destiny's Child, and I have been a fan of everybody in the group. And, I just want to say that I've always wanted to see everybody in Destiny's Child win, even though you guys had the split, and Michelle joined the group and Farrah joined the group. I still rode for Destiny's Child, and I still rode for you and LeToya. And, it's just 14 years later, I am just so glad to see that you guys are still here and still doing things. And I must say you look very beautiful on the camera today.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. I'm so glad to be talking to you today.
Thank you so much. So we all know that you were in Destiny's Child, and you guys were ousted from the group. And LeToya went on to do an album, and she had a #1 album. And, we were looking for you, and you pretty much, you weren't there anymore. What happened?
You know what? After everything happened with the group, I took a lot of time to myself. My grandparents, I went home to Houston, and they had failing, their health was declining, so I was there for my grandparents. I started dealing with a lot of personal issues within myself, in my head, from my childhood. Only to later on find out that my mother had been diagnosed with breast cancer, and I went through the treatments and everything with her. So my life I put myself on the back burner, but then I put myself on the front burner as well because I needed to get myself, I needed to get my head right, so I could be here right now and be present, to be here for all of my supporters.
Now, after the group, after you guys left the group, you and LeToya also have formed a group called Angel. And I know you guys were working on songs, and I was just so excited, like, okay, they're going to have a new group and everything. And after I kept hearing rumors that, okay, there was some changes in the group, like somebody left and a new person came, and then nothing ever happened. What happened with that?
You know what? At the end of the day, we all, we were growing, and we decided that we all wanted to have like different endeavors and everything. So Angel just ended up not working out at that time.
Okay, so how did it make you feel that, this group did not work out and that you were trying to get yourself back out there?
I don't feel like that Angel didn't work out. I feel like for whatever reasons, Angel wasn't supposed to work out. Because there's a path and there's a plan for everything. And if it didn't work out at that time, it was just something else. Maybe I didn't see it like that then, but I see now. And like I said, there were some things within me that I needed to get together. So that was definitely, I think it happened, like I said, how it was supposed to happen. That's just the best way that I can even sum it up.
Okay, so when did you really start dealing with your battles of depression?
When you say depression, what do you mean depression?
Because I know that this is not recent, but like the last time like we really seen you on television, you were talking with Phaedra, and you were talking about all the things that you have been through, how you battled alcohol, and you had a mug shot. Like where did that depression start? Did it happen right after Destiny's Child or during the breast cancer treatments that your mother was going through?
The breast cancer treatments with my mother didn't happen until later, but when I spoke with Phaedra, that was in 2010, and I was speaking about things that had happened like 10 years prior to that. It wasn't anything that I was dealing with at the time or that I was just experiencing, but I'd gone into a depression because sometimes when you're like in your own space, you know, you're in your own head, you know, you think about things. The group was just a tiny piece of that, but Destiny's Child was one of the best things that ever happened to me. So my depression wasn't about that. It was my childhood and my upbringing and things like that I started to revisit. And I tried to start self-soothing, excuse me. And I went and I got treatment and I got down to the root of my problems and I realized that that's exactly what I was doing. It wasn't really a problem. I was just trying to numb a lot of pain from things that I've been through in my childhood.
Okay.
Sure.
So is this like the things that you have been battling during your childhood? I know that you have a book that's supposed to be coming out where you be talking more in depth about what happened to you.
Oh, absolutely. I love it. You know, people like to call my book a tell-all. We don't like to call it that. Sounds kind of scandalous sometimes, but it is to a certain extent. But I like to call it my love letter because I want to be really transparent to all of my supporters and everybody who supported me through the time that they didn't see me. And I want them to know exactly what it is that I've been through because I've heard a lot of rumors about myself and I don't mind saying and telling the good, bad, and the ugly as long as it's coming from my mouth.
Okay.
You know, but definitely, and it's been one of my most precious projects today.
And what do you plan to reveal that you have never spoken about in this book?
That I've never spoken about in the book. Everything is going to be in the book.
Everything. So I know a lot of people want to be reading about that Destiny's Child split. Will you go more in depth about what happened with that? Because we've all been waiting to know the full story. I mean, we heard you and LeToya, we've heard Michelle and Kelly, we've heard Matthew speak of it, but we have not really heard the full story. So can we expect for you to tell the whole truth about what happened in this book?
You know what? It's so old at this point. It's like, ugh, what I have to keep on talking about it. It's so like it's like been 17 years almost, and it's like I'm still talking about it. What went on with me in the group? It will definitely be in my book. So that's really all I can say about that. I just don't want to talk about it.
Okay, but I do have to ask you one more question about that. Because, you know, you and LeToya, you talked about your management issues with Matthew. And you always said that it was never about Beyonce and Kelly. Now, seeing that, you know, Matthew has had management issues further down the line with his artists, do you think that people will understand you and LeToya more on what you went through?
You know what? That's up to the reader.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't know how they're gonna perceive it. All I can do is tell my story from my truth. And you know, I've always said that, and I maintain it. Destiny's Child was one of the best things that has ever happened to me, and I have the utmost love for all of the girls. And the things that did happen, it was with management. It was with management, and it had nothing to do with the girls. Mm-hmm. So please, but I do write in depth about it.
And what is your current relationship with the girls from the group?
My current relationship is yes on my radio, yes on my iPad, yes on my iPod. Toya was at my baby shower. She was there when I had my baby. I've seen Beyonce. I've talked to Kelly. You know, like, you know, we're adults now. You know, it's so far in the past. And like, you know, I have the utmost love and respect. You know, Beyonce is one of my sheroes. So I mean, like, hey.
Now I don't know if you have seen this picture, but there has been this picture floating around the internet that says Destiny's Child 5, Back to Business. It's you, Michelle, Kelly, Beyonce, and LeToya. If the opportunity ever presented itself in the future, would you be on board for something like that?
You know what? Absolutely. I believe that anything is possible.
Yes. Okay. I mean, I would really love to see that happen. I just picture that one day. I don't know when, but I just see you guys on the stage together and just say, you know, all this bullshit is in the past. We are women now. And, you know, you guys were teenagers during this time. So I'm sure that 15 years, come on. You know, I just hope that you guys are able to just one day, I don't think you guys ever had this, but I hope that one day you all could just meet up and just talk. And it's just y'all on an island somewhere, just, just to just put everything out on the table and just let it go.
You know what? I think that would be wonderful. And it would be even more wonderful if we just went and had a great time on an island and just remember that, hey, we were friends when all this started. Things happen, we all grow. Mm-hmm. So, I would love for us to be able to have the opportunity to be around each other, amongst each other, and just, talk about, we all have lives now. Like, we're all women. We're all grown. Two of us have kids, it's a totally different day.
And I knew that you were a mother, but when did you have your baby? What did you have? What's the name? Tell me about your life as a mother now.
I gave birth to my daughter, Lyric Milan, on August 21st, 2013. She just made 8 months on the 21st of April. That is my biggest project to date. Mm-hmm. Being a new mom has been a totally different experience for me, and the joy and the cries sometimes.
I can't stand hear a baby cry. I don't know about. I mean, I know it's different because now you're a mom, but it's like with me, I'm like, get that baby away from me because I can't.
My daughter is my joy. I live for her. I do everything I do because of her, and my whole life has changed because of her. She's a mess and a half already.
So, how much help do you have with raising your daughter?
Thank God that I have my mother here with me, and my team of people, my management team, everybody. We're all like a family. Mm-hmm. We all come together and we all help where help is needed, and especially with me filming the season of R&B Divas, I was so grateful that my mother was able to be here in Atlanta with me to be able to help me with Lyric, because she was only 2 months old when I started to film. So me trying to balance the two was really, I would have to say, my biggest challenge throughout the whole season.
So I know that on the show because I've watched it already. I really enjoyed watching this episode. And when you were talking with the girls, you explained that that I think you didn't say you were a single mother, but in a way it kind of hinted to that. Is your child? I mean, is the father of your child in your child's life at all?
You know what? There were things that were going on at first, and I was being truthful. It was hard, but we both put on our big boy and our big girl panties and underwear, I guess you would have to say, and we work together the best that we can to raise our daughter, because it's very important to both of us that she has both of us.
Amen. Yeah. So I know that now that you're on R&B Divas, we're going to want to hear music from you. So what can you tell us about your music ventures?
My music ventures right now are far and in between. They're in process. They're in motion. I've been meeting with some producers, mm-hmm. and I've been having meetings with other people as far as music goes. I don't mind even being behind the scenes, maybe doing some management, maybe writing and things like that as well. But people will find out this season on R&B Diva, I'm sort of a rebel with a cause, mm-hmm. to a certain extent, with a lot of sweet in me. And I'm the diva that, because I've been through so much, that, the industry has sort of left a little sour taste in my mouth to a certain extent. So I'm really trying to figure out, do I want to be a part of this crazy industry again? Mm-hmm. Is it something that I really want to do? But I have a lot of other things that I'm trying to do as well. So definitely tune in, and it's definitely evident. The proof is in the pudding.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely would love to hear you do some solo music, because, I've always, of course, we know that, okay, LaTavia sang on this song, LaTavia sang on that song, but I'm like, no, I want to hear a full song because oh, she can't sing. I know she can sing. I heard you sing a little bit on the show. I was like, okay, are they going to put the camera on her? Is she going to sing? So we heard a little bit of you singing with the girls. But I know for sure that I would love to see you either do an EP, a mixtape, something just to let everyone know that, hey, yes, I was in Destiny's Child. You might have said that I can't sing, but this is my music and I can sing. So I would love to definitely hear that. And I see that on the show that you said if you're not confident in yourself singing, then you won't sing.
Well, you
So
know what? I like to say it more like this. It's not about my confidence. Granted, I've been away from the stage for over 10 years. And it's not about my confidence, but of course, everybody has to work at their craft. But for me, it's more so about everything being right. And I'm not going to jump into everything if it's not right. And it has to be right for me in order for me to do it. And I'm not saying that I won't sing or that I will sing. I just want everybody to keep their ear to the street and to see, what's going to happen because, it is my real life. It is a process that I'm going through. So, hey, I'm human.
what made you want to join R&B Divas?
You know what? The opportunity presented itself actually while I was pregnant. And at that point in time, my management and I didn't think that it was, quite the right time. And the simple fact that it came back around on our desk after I gave birth to my daughter, we were like, okay, God, you must be telling us something. So, hey, let's give it a shot. Let's see what's going on. And, I'm glad. I'm glad that I signed up for the show.
So, what issues will we see you tackle on this show containing your private life?
Well, this season, I'm very raw with things. I'm a person that I love to be transparent. I don't have anything to hide. I'm not ashamed of a lot of things that have happened in my life. I believe that everything has happened for a reason. I believe that God gave me this platform to definitely share the things that I've been through and all these issues. People have been like, well, where's she been? What is she doing? I don't think that it was supposed to be mine and mine alone to just hold inside. I feel like that my testimonies and things that I've gone through and things that I am going through that other women are going through and have been through can definitely help somebody. So I feel like let's just go get them and be there and just, I'm just trying to be the best me that I can be. I was 100 the whole season. Everything you hear me say was me.
So we will see you have any issues with some of your castmates on there?
Well, it's, the thing that I love so much about being on R&B Divas is that it's 6 different ladies and all stem basically from the same foundation. But throughout that time, we've all not gone our separate ways like we were recruited, but we all have had our separate lives. We're all mothers. We all have opinions. We all have had careers. We all have had all these things. And then to come together, it's great. But of course, because we are all women and all of those things, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, some good TV up in there.
But now, for the past 2 seasons of R&B Divas, all we hear about is, let's go on tour, let's go on tour, let's go on tour. Even on this episode, Angie's talking about, let's do a showcase. And the girls is not having that. Like a showcase, we're not new. We're not new to this. After you have filmed it, are you guys finished filming already?
Yes, we are.
Now that you're finished filming, I don't want to go in too much, but do you think that you will go on tour with these ladies? If you can.
You know what? I answered that question very, very, very openly in front of the ladies on the show. I don't know which episode that would be. You know where I'm going with it, right? That's where I'm going.
So do you think I know you said you are real and you're raw. Now we've seen Nikki Gilbert and Kelly Price. We have loved them from the 90s. And then they get on camera and then they say, well, I wasn't shown right and this is not really what happened. Do you think that you will face that down the line, or we will just say, you know what, LaTavia is real, I'm riding for her?
Only thing that I can say to answer that question is I know that I was being me the whole season. I didn't want to hold back, and I was very reluctant to a certain extent about doing reality TV prior to even getting the opportunity to be on R&B Divas. But I only said that I would be on a reality show if I was able to be portrayed as myself. So, there is editing, there is everything. The only thing that I could do, you can't control editing.
Sure.
But I just made sure that I was truthful to myself and to all of the ladies as problems arose, as problems, went away, as we laughed together, loved together, everything. I was true to LaTavia. I was me. I was myself. It was my reality for me, for real.
Now, was it weird having the cameras around you, following you from your day-to-day life?
Not really. It wasn't as bad as some people would think it is. It's different things for different shows.
So how were you received by your castmates? Because we all know that you were in Destiny's Child, and Kiki gave me that I'm tired of new girls coming on the show. And I don't know, because watching her, I'm just going to be honest. Sometimes I don't think she's wrapped too tight in certain situations. Like we've seen her argue with Monifa, and it's like, you're mad because you didn't call me when you could call. You could have called me. How do you deal with all of those? How do you deal with the women around you? And do you think they really received you well on the show?
Only time will tell how the women received me. I don't have a problem with any of the women. Like I said, of course, as 6 women, you have your issues. But I'm going to be watching just like you guys are. But you done already saying.
Yes, and I'm glad that they didn't make it a big thing with how you were introduced to the show. Like you said, you were in Destiny's Child. You said how you felt, and I'm just glad that this is not okay. I was done wrong, and now I need redemption from everybody. It's just
no. It's a whole new day and a whole new life for me as far as that goes. Every interview I do, people are always asking me about it, but of course I answer the questions. But then people are like, "Well, she always talking about it." Well, I just answer questions that are given to me in an interview. Like I said, it's one of the best things that has ever happened to me, and I just wish everybody else would move on. People try to make it seem like I'm the one that hasn't moved on. Everybody else hasn't.
Okay. Now I do have one more question about just about when you were on the Real Housewives of Atlanta and you spoke with Phaedra. For me, it seemed like you still had some bitterness because of how the way you talked about the situation. Now that we're 4 years since you have been on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, do you feel like you have changed from how you felt when you explained yourself to Phaedra?
The way, maybe people perceive my tone as a certain way. I always have maintained my same story. My story has been the same since the day that we were ousted from the group. And it's not going to change because, like I said, it's my truth. And I've not changed in, 16, 17 years now. But of course, I've changed. But my opinions and everything, it is what it is. But there was never any bitterness even then. I think it was a lot more. Sometimes people, to me, mistake passion for bitterness or being angry, and I think it's kind of unfair, but it is what it is.
So are you real big on reality TV? And if so, what other shows are you watching?
It's definitely a guilty pleasure of mine. I love the Braxtons. I love Mary Mary. I watched the Basketball Wives and Preacher's Daughters, and things like that. It just depends. I don't really sit at home and just try to, ooh, the TV's going on tonight. But do I like reality TV? Yeah, it's very entertaining.
Mm-hmm. So I do want to ask you about the Real Housewives of Atlanta with this fight with Kenya and Portia. Have you seen it? And what do you think of it? The situation.
Oh. um. Hmm. I don't know what to say. I wasn't expecting that.
Mm-hmm.
I do know.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people have their opinions about what happened, you know, but I don't know. I don't think you want to answer it, so.
No, the only thing that I can say though is that it's really funny to me how like a lot of times these reality shows they drive that kind of thing, and then when it happens, then it turns to a big old something else. That's what I don't understand. I totally understand what happened that day, but the backlash and stuff, I don't know.
Yeah, well,
I'm not a housewife of Atlanta.
Well, I'm just really glad that you have really, taken time out your day to talk to me about you being on R&B Divas. Where have you been in your life? And, again, as I said in the beginning, I just want to see you win. I want to see
so much.
Everybody win.
Thank you.
Of course, because, they're going to kill me if I don't ask you, what do you think about Beyonce's new album?
What? Okay. When that came about the whole thing, the videos, and my mama was like, "You play another video and another song one more time." Mm-hmm. That's how it's always been since all the albums since Dangerously in Love.
Yeah.
Like I supported all of the girls and all of their endeavors, and I've been a total cheerleader in the background. I love this album for the simple fact that she's a woman, she's a mother, she's a wife. Mm-hmm. She loves her husband. Like I think it's beautiful. When people be trying to talk, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I have 7 seats in my Tamar voice. like leave her alone. She's an adult. But no, I love it. Yeah, I absolutely do it. I'm not just saying it.
Now, besides just being in a group, who else in music today inspires you? Like, oh, I wish I could make a record like that. Who gives you that?
I love Chrisette Michelle. Mm-hmm. I love Brandy. I love Janae Aiko. I even like Lorde. I like a lot of pop music. People probably wouldn't know that about me. I like a lot of acoustic sound and things. I like India Arie. There's this artist. His name is Travis Garland. He's amazing. It's my iPod is very eclectic. I'm gonna say.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just really hope that I hear some music from you in the future. It's like I have to because I just I just don't want you to feel like because first of all I already know you've been going for a long time. You haven't done music in a long time, and I know the pressures you are going to face. Like can she live up to Beyonce? Is she's like Kelly? Is she's like LeToya? I mean, they all had good albums out. Like, do you feel like any pressure? Like, if you put an album out, of course you're going to be compared to them, but like, how can I say this? Like, do you feel intimidated that you are? Do you feel intimidated by that?
You know what? I come from one of the biggest girl groups around. And I have to say, from listening to Beyonce's music, to Kelly's music, to LeToya's music, to me, there's nothing in their music that sounds alike. Mm-hmm. So, of course, I would be totally different. It's really unfortunate that I have to feel pressure because of society. It's not because of me. Mm-hmm. But I'm my own artist in my own right. And like I said, at the end of the day, if it's not right, I'm not going to do it and I'm not going to put it out. So I've been patient with myself And, things will come exactly when they're supposed to come. I have a lot of other things that are on the table right now, and music is definitely a part of it. I've come from music, so like I said, you just gotta. People need to be patient, and like I don't want to feel pressured. I don't want to feel rushed, because that's one thing that I definitely express during this season. I'm not going to let anybody push me into a corner and make me feel like I have to do something because they say so.
Okay. So when the time is right, the music will be out.
Absolutely. Like I said, we're in the lab right now,
All right.
So, it's definitely in due time.
And the book, will we see the book later this year, or will we see it in 2015?
You know what? That's something that's being determined right now. We're trying to find the perfect publishing home, because my love letter is definitely very dear to my heart. It's my baby. I've been birthing it since before I was even birthing a baby. Way before that. But I need for that to be right as well. Because I have been gone for so long, I don't want anything to be misconstrued. Like, I just want everything to be as right as it possibly can be.
Okay. So, LaTavia, I want to say thank you so much for coming on the Scorpion Show today. You guys, you can watch R&B Divas Season 3 at 10 p.m. on Wednesday nights, only on TV One.
Yes.
Good luck with everything. I'm really looking forward to the book, to the music, and whatever other projects you have going on.
I just want to say, hey, everybody, please go and follow me on Instagram and Twitter at I am LaTavia, on Facebook at / official LaTavia, and just hit up my website, LaTaviaRoberson.com.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on.
Very much.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.